People also want to know when you are going to table this legislation. And in 2017, you said autumn 2018 was the common sense time for another referendum. In autumn 18, you said you'd set out your plans for an independence referendum in the not too distant future. In autumn 2019, you said the referendum must happen next year. In autumn 2020, you said you wouldn't rule out a vote in 2021. And in 2021, you said you'd start pushing for a referendum in spring 2022. When is going to be the right time?
Look, I make no apology for the fact that over the past 2 years as First Minister, I have prioritised steering the country through a pandemic. At the outset of the pandemic, I very clearly said we were putting plans for an independence referendum on hold. If only Boris Johnson had done likewise with plans around Brexit, we wouldn't be seeing some of the chaos associated with Brexit right now. But I am determined. I've won an election on this basis to give people in Scotland the choice over our future, and I believe when that choice comes, people will choose an independent future. The preparatory work for that is underway and will determine the precise date for introducing that legislation in due course. We are hopefully, as you said earlier on, as I said earlier on the downward slope of this wave of Omicron, which clears the way for us to do that. The key thing is that we will take these steps in a timescale that will facilitate that referendum before the end of 2023, which is the commitment I made at the election and was elected on overwhelmingly.
Given that Boris Johnson's approval ratings are at rock bottom right now and support for Scottish independence is still only around 50%, if that doesn't drive support for independence, what will?
Look, Sophie, I'm laughing not at the question. I'm just laughing at reflecting the fact that if you told me when I was a much younger politician that one day 50% support for independence would be seen as some kind of failure, I would have grabbed that with both hands. Look, support for independence, I believe, is rising. I think when Scotland comes to choose, we will choose independence, not just because of the current occupant in number 10, but what that is illustrating very powerfully is the fact that Scotland too often ends up with things imposed upon us, Brexit, for example, or being governed by people and by parties that we don't choose. And all of that is the price of not being independent. Being independent is not some magic wand that takes away all challenges that we will face, but it puts our destiny, our fate, our future in our own hands.
Well, we'll have to talk about that.
That's the beauty and the essence of independence, and I believe that's what people in Scotland will choose when they get the opportunity.
Plenty more to discuss on